Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Jon Dexter. Jon
Hello,
Dexter,
sir.
how you doing, John? You were just on a
Good.
couple weeks ago. Yeah, seems like you're keeping yourself busy. How's everything?
Yeah, really good. Very busy. Got a full time job of doing comics, so it's definitely keeping me busy. But got some exciting comics coming up, and got a Kickstarter going on right now, currently for my Alpha Dog Special Edition.
Right. So I went to. I back so many freaking comics, and I'm a big fan of your Time Store Detective. I've been I've been raving about it. I've been unabashedly telling people I think you're the best writer in indie comics, and in this, just playing with this freaking camera, it's driving me nuts. In this circle of comic books, I just think you're doing the best job as far as writing. I hope to write a story as good as you someday. And
Well, I really appreciate the compliment. Thank you. It's a lot of I've been doing it since I was as far back as I can remember was creating stories. So it's always my lifelong dream. So the fact that I'm able to finally do it as a comic book is just it's a big thrill, and getting signed by Source Point Press, a publisher that actually is from Michigan. I was down to work with them because I'm in
I don't mean to
Michigan.
interrupt you, but I can't understand anything. It just sounds like a robot. Is
Oh
this?
shoot, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can understand me talking right now.
It sounds like bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh, let me try. Let me try another line here and get back real quick.
Yeah. While he's doing that, I'm gonna say he up to issue 4 of Dime Store Detective. I've read issue 5. I hope it's coming out pretty soon. But it's everything I want in a comic. I like a good detective story. So it's a detective story. It's a family drama, and it's got supernatural elements. I think it's fair to compare it to a True Detective. At least the first season. I didn't see the second season. Really, am enjoying the book. And I did not read it, Alpha. I did not read Alpha Dogs yet. I that's what I wanted, because I back so many comics. I forget if I backed it already, because I think this is a collection. So I got to look to see if I backed the Alpha Dogs. So I'm just going to keep talking until he shows up. Old Dirty Fatty says, a guy who's pro dog can't be all that bad. Yeah. For those of you who are wondering why I'm streaming on a Saturday night, it's I'm a construction worker, and when a job ends, you go to another job, and when that job ends, you go to another job. And Jon Dexter is also in construction, so he can understand. So I got sent to, in New York City, the public school systems, they're getting a lot of work done. And the school that I'm working on is the most power inefficient school in the city, in all 5 boroughs. So they got a big grant, and me and a couple other guys are there, but we can't work while the teachers and students are there. So all summer long, I was on my regular schedule. Now that the school semester is starting, I'm working at night, and I hate it. I hate this shift. I was filibustering, John. I know you're also in construction. You can commiserate.
Yeah. Can you hear me good now?
Yeah, now you sound good. Yeah. I'd
Okay,
rather
sorry about that.
choppy than the audio, because nobody. The ears are unforgiving. Eyes are pretty forgiving.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you can hear me now. It looks like I'm in a.
So I was
But,
talking about how much I love Dime Store Detective, and how I'm up to issue 4. I can't wait for issue 5. And I was just asking you, but the audio is going out. I back many books. This is a collection. So this is a collection of Alpha Dogs 1 to 5 that's currently available. And put the link in the private chat. I can put it in the public chat.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, this is the 5th one, and I believe you've read Dime. You should be up to 5 issues of Dime Detective.
Yes, I'm up to the current issue, so it's 5. Yeah, I back so much.
Okay, cool. I was worried that maybe you didn't get the last one or something, but yeah. So this collects 1 through 5. Plus, there's a bonus story that you can only get in the graphic novel. And this is about a year and a half ago. I had released the graphic novel from 1 through 4, just because I didn't know. I needed to get some funds because it's expensive to to make comics. And then literally after I printed them, that's when I was approached to sign with Source Point Press. And I thought, well, it would be years before I was able to need another printing, as many as I bought. But thankfully, selling them with them, selling them on Kickstarter and at conventions, now it's time to reorder now the graphic novel. And I thought it'd be a great idea to now that I'm signed, published through Source Point Press, and do 1 through 5 this time, and have a beautiful new cover. It's laminated. There's lettering on the binding. It looks really professional. It's really great. And the comics are done. They're finished. They're sitting at the warehouse right now, the graphic novel. So it'll be not anybody waiting a long time for the graphic novel. All I got to do is pick it up. It's a great series. It's the one that got me the first time published through Source Point Press. So it's a great series, especially if you're a dog lover.
Yeah, I was just going through. I backed so many comics. I had to go. Yes, I'm up to Dime School. I was about to say Dime Dog. I'm mixing everything together. I'm up to Dime Store Detective number 5, and then I just looked to see. I did back Alpha Dogs. So there you go. Yeah, good.
Oh,
good,
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, it's
us construction people have to stick together,
Absolutely. Like I said before, thanks for all the kudos and helping spread the word for my work. You can get Dime Store Detective in this campaign as well. There's a bundle where you can get that, plus my Space Cruising, which is a fun sci-fi comedy. I'm not stuck in one genre. I like just about anything. So like I said, there's issue 1 of Space Cruising, and then 1 through 5 of the graphic novel through Source Point Press, the publisher. So
Right,
the fact that it is got a publisher, I think it's a testament that it is a good series.
I just want to show this. This is a trading card. All my trading cards came in today, so I was just proofreading them.
Nice.
So this is the Overshadow. It has nothing to do with your character. I made it. So in Dime Store Detective, there is a shadow being, and I just wanted to verify that
yeah, that's cool.
Debuting in the next issue of Road Tales. It's just a coincidence.
Okay, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Like I said,
Yes,
Dime Store Detective is great too, and you can get them all.
I backed the last Kickstarter for Alpha Dog. I think I got 1 to 5 in one. I got to check what I actually backed.
Oh,
so
okay.
I did read Alpha
Yeah.
Dog, and I'm excited to read it because I'm a big fan of your writing. So I can only talk about my love of Dime Store Detective, but you reached out and you asked me about it, and I said you're the best writer in indie comics right now. So
I really appreciate it.
you got
I just got to get my Netflix deal. That's my focus. I'm waiting for that one.
When you're walking down the red carpet with Cindy Sweeney, don't forget about us.
Absolutely not. Yeah. I'm trying. I've got some stuff out there. It's really tough to get sold to a movie or TV studio. It's really tough, but I believe my work is good enough to get sold. I just got to get lucky enough to find that.
So you got signed on to a publisher, and I remember from our last talk, you won like a screenwriting award, right? Like you made it.
Well, I got to the semifinals of a very prestigious. Yeah, it's put on by the Academy Awards. They have what's called the Nicole Fellowship. They pick 5 people, 5 screenplays to go through the program, and a bunch of them have been made into movies. Killer the Bee got made into a movie. Oh boy, what are some other ones? There was Arlington Road got made into a movie. So, but there's over 7,000 scripts that get submitted. So you're in competition with 7,000 screenwriters, just like a lot of people in California, of course, because if you make it there, you're big. So anyway, I didn't win. I got to the semifinals. So I got into the top like 100 out of 7,000 scripts. And I thought I had some agents looking at me and stuff like that. But 99.9% of scripts don't get sold. That's just
Right.
how it is. But I do take that script and rewrite it into a comic book. So my goal is, after Dumpster Detective, I want to turn that into to graphic novel because it'd be fantastic. It's a historical fiction.
It's historical fiction. Cool.
Yeah. And if you can look it up, if you put in Weeping Trees, Jon Dexter, you'll find it. Just so people know I'm not full of it.
Okay.
It's called The Weeping Trees by Jon Dexter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tim Olson, who he's been watching my channel. He has a book, Melvin, and then he has Zed and Odysseus on Amazon right now. But he says, "You're my competition." Yes and no. I mean, we're making comic books, but it's not like somebody buys your book, so they don't buy my book, or they don't buy Tim's book. I find that to be just a bad way to look at things. Like if I don't know, people buy your book and they like your book, it's like, yay, there's a good comic book out there. Like, isn't that the goal? No, I maybe I'm a weirdo, but like I actively encourage people from super chatting me, and then I'm like, yeah, this guy writes better than me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it wrong, I guess.
No, I don't know. I don't think anybody's. Yeah, I think that I don't know. I don't look at it like that way. I mean, I don't think I think my work speaks for itself, and so I don't like think about it like that.
Plus you're in construction, so I have to be rooting for you. Like I think out of all the people that I've talked to, me and you are the only two construction workers who are making comic books. So.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, it's definitely a far cry from what most people do that write comics.
Right.
But I think in a way, I think that helps me because I know my story, like Dumpster Detective, they have the two brothers that are, hard drinking guys that are slice of life guys. And that's kind of the people I work with. So I can really, identify with those people. And I think write true characters to those people. It's funny when you watch a movie and this guy's supposed to be a tough guy and he's so like, not he like drinks his coffee with the pinky out, and he's supposed to be a tough guy because the people that are writing that. Well, I was trying to figure out a good way to say it, but there's a purity in people that have actually experienced those people. That's why the actors in like Saving Private Ryan are so believable, is because they lived that life for a while. He put them through boot camp. And I think that goes a long way with writing. If somebody lived in a private school, how are they going to write about a guy that works on a car?
Yeah. So at work, I mean, do you talk about comics? Like, we'll have a lunch break, and I'll take out my phone and like, oh, yeah, this is my comic book. People like they're all like, first off, they go, they still make comics. They still, and I'm like, why? And they're all like, wow, that's cool, that's interesting, but none of them have that hobby at all. You know what I mean? Like, are you the only lone weirdo in among your blue collar workers also?
Yeah. I usually don't tell people because I'm an inspector, so I don't really work with the same. The people that I work with at my work, they know what I'm doing, but I will be on a job as an inspector and different. So I'm only with these people for a few months, and I'm not going to tell them because then if they, like the last people I told them, they were like, "Oh my God, you're famous," and it's like it's not like that, I'm not. I'm just this guy, So I usually don't tell anybody unless it comes up.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I talk too much about everything, so everybody. Plus, I don't know. I'm on the job with like a bunch of guys, and we'll be working together 40 hours a week for weeks, if not months, if sometimes even years. So like, you get to know everything.
Yeah.
But like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm only with the people for a few minutes. So
you have Space Cruising. It's a sci-fi story. And then you have Dime Store Detective, which is a supernatural thriller detective story. And then Alpha Dogs. How would you describe Alpha Dogs? I didn't read that one yet. So no.
Yeah, it's a great series. It's about this dog named Buck who has been on the run with his owner his whole life. They're trying to get away from mercenaries that are hunting them. They've been hunting them for Buck's entire life because he has the power to heal from any wound. He's smart enough to understand human speech and has a heightened strength. So you've got this story about this dog, that this exciting drama about this dog and his owner, this grumpy pit bull that are having to change where locations constantly. But the dog Buck, he's feared by the humans because he's a pit bull, and they have this bad reputation. Plus, he's this big, overgrown pit bull, so humans are afraid of him wherever he goes. It's kind of like Casper the Friendly Ghost. He's this dog with this big heart who will do anything to save anybody in danger. Yet the humans around him are all completely afraid of him and scream and yell at him. One guy shoots a gun at him because he has to go in his yard to escape some mercenaries. So he lives a very kind of sad life, but he ends up having to save humans as the story goes along. In the beginning, in this first 5 issues, we're going to cover that relationship between Buck and his owner has lived this incredibly lonely life because of protecting her dogs. She ends up getting, manipulated by this fellow bioengineerist to divulge the secrets of the dog's abilities to him. But little does she know, he already knows of the dog's powers and has created this formula that once in possession of their blood, he can create his own dogs with their own distinct abilities. So you've got this Chihuahua who's very smart, and he knows it, he's very cocky. So the Cocker Spaniel is always trying to save him. You've got Monto, this Prussia Canero, who's the antagonist of the series, who can grow to this big hulking size. And, of course, eventually we'll have a climactic battle between the alpha dogs and him. And so it's got a lot of really cool adventure, a lot of cool mystery. It has a big heart too. It's about prejudices against dogs, just like people, based on reputation. A lot of cool themes, and people have really been enjoying it, especially if you have dogs.
Okay. I'm trying to pull up your campaign. Did you put it in the private chat? Yeah, put it in the private chat. So yeah.
Sorry.
So I can show everybody what we're talking about, throw out the link and everything like that. Have you ever, like you said, you're going to turn the Weeping Trees into a comic also? Have you ever thought of a bunch of construction workers?
All right, I got it in the private chat here. Have I thought about
doing a comic about construction workers? It's funny because every time I bring up a comic book, all the construction workers are like, you should do a book about the job. And I'm like, yeah, well, I want to sell more than 10 copies to the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I got to do that job 11 hours a day. The last thing I want to do is bring it home with me. I have no interest. Maybe after I leave. But no, I like I said, the last thing I want to do is think about my work that I do all day when I'm writing. That's my to get away from all that life. But I did have one that I eventually will tell. I hope to, was when I worked building playgrounds in Florida. I'd done that for a few years, and I was a 21-year-old small little town that moved to this big city, Kissimmee, Florida, and all the crazy stuff that happened with that. I'd like to do one day.
Cool. We'll talk about your campaign in a second, but I have this idea that I've been for like almost 20 years, like before I was even do it's based on like double indemnity, if you get double insurance out in these, like the older noir movie, but it was called The Shaft, and I hear somebody's going to steal it, but it's
don't tell it.
Because at work, if you fall down an elevator shaft, if the elevator, I'm a construction worker, sometimes I'm in skyscrapers. If there's a problem with the elevator doors and you fall down the shaft, it's a huge payout. It's like double, triple indemnity payout for the insurance. It's like a big thing. So I always been joking around that I wanted to write a novel about a guy like joking around. So one of the construction workers, the old timers, just like, if I have a heart attack, like his standard joke is, if I have a heart attack, throw me down the shaft so my widow gets triple the payout. So my story really does have a heart attack. And one of the guys throws him down the shaft, and then hijinks ensue. Turns into a Tarantino film, but it's based on an old farmer that I did work with. He used to say, "Throw me down the shaft if I have a heart attack," and that's the humor that we have at work. We joking about like, if one of the guys will hand you a fan. What are you doing? I'm going to flip the switch. If I go on fire, blow the fire out with the fan. That's just our humor at work. So I'm gonna bring up your I'm gonna make this big, and I'm gonna play your trailer. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. What am I doing? Pretty cool. So here I'm going to bring up the link. I'm going to bring up the link again. I have to say that opening image of a dog with bullet holes and blood, it to any American, I'll say, American and Europeans, we love our dogs. That's rough.
I know. I wanted to start it out with to get people's attention, really grab people by the throat, and sometimes it maybe goes a little far, but I think that's how we start out. This mystery of how Buck ended up shot up on the beach, and at the end of this issue 4, we find out how he got there. So that scene where we open up then goes to flashback, and then it kind of bookends with the rest of that first 4-issue chapter. And I think I've always loved it when stories do that, have that bookend starting, and then we end up where we started at. Here's a few pages when we introduce Monto's pop. He's this Presticanero that is really this malevolent dog, and he can grow to this huge hulking size, and he absolutely loves hunting down humans who have wronged his master.
Yeah, people are saying the dog, dog violence. So it's there's websites that you could go, like a new movie comes out and you could go to a website. Does a dog get hurt? You know what I mean?
I know it's terrible. I know if it ever does if I'm lucky enough to have it sell, I'm sure all that will be taken out because it's definitely this visceral feeling. But I think when you start out, when you first see the comic book, that's like the first page you see is him seemingly dead on the speech. So it really get your attention, and then we see he heals. Like I said, he can heal from any wound. He's okay in 2 pages later, but yeah, it definitely gives people that visceral feeling and that's what you want to do. I think you want to grab people by the throat when you first start writing it.
Here's the book that Detective. This is so good.
Yeah, that's the Detective. One of the first images you see is the splash page of this woman hung in a crucifix style. From the board. Yeah, with a bottle, a moonshine bottle shoved down her throat. So try to get them.
You open your first image is always pretty shocking. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what Geek 2 says, my mother has 5 pit bulls among other breeds, and they're always the best in every way. So
Yeah. So that picture that you see with me and my dog, that was kind of the impetus to write the story. We had lived in this town that was going to outlaw pit bulls. We had moved to Missouri for a while, and so that's who Buck is based on. The look is Pig. So we had lived in a town that was going to outlaw pit bulls, and we weren't going to get rid of our dog, so we moved. Then that inspired me to create this story about this dog that's feared by the public because of his breeding size, but he has a big heart. Like I said, kind of like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I wanted to go from that approach, this big, like these, you always see these big guys that are teddy bears, and that's kind of how I approached it with the Buck character, with creating him. And he goes and could save himself when he escapes, but the ship is sinking, but he runs back and is willing to sacrifice himself to free the other dogs from their cages. And this kind of tells you some of his personality. He will go through and sacrifice his own, comfort in order to help humans and dogs, but they fear him, and the public runs away from him. And like I said, one guy shoots at him because Buck's on his property. But it's like I said, it's a great story with a lot of heart that people really have been enjoying. Even though the dog gets shot, he can instantly heal. And
he's a superhero dog. My brother adopted a pit bull. From a shelter, a big old beautiful dog, big old muscular dog. And it turned out that it had heart problems, and the poor dog died last year. But he only had it for a couple of years.
No.
But it was my brother took the dog, and he wasn't, he wasn't blind. It's a pit bull, I know you're probably more sensitive than me but they're, all stereotypes come from something. So he's just like, I don't know the past of this dog. It was put into a shelter. I don't know, was it abused? Did somebody find it? You know what I mean? They didn't know the full story.
Yeah.
So he got the dog, but what a sweetheart this dog turned out to be. Like I remember going to the house, and he had this big cushion for the dog because it was a big freaking dog.
Yeah,
the dog was sleeping on because the cat was sleeping on. You know what I mean? Like, the cat bossed, the little cat bossed this big dog around. All it wanted to do was pet. Like, it was such a well-behaved, beautiful dog. It was really sad. The dog just passed from like a heart attack or something. But we,
recently or
about a year ago, maybe. So,
okay.
He always have multiple dogs. They're an animal family.
Yes. Yeah, and you want to have multiple dogs spread out their ages, so it's not so tough when one passes, because it is they become like your kids, and was with our dog Pig, who was an inspiration for Alpha Dogs. He died a couple of years ago, and that was really rough.
The dog's name was Pig, Pig.
Yeah, Pig, because he would turn pink when he would get embarrassed.
That's cute.
Yeah, he was white, and that's
my parents had 7 kids, me and my 6 siblings, and my mother used to call us the piggies, so I always liked that.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
So Omnipro wants to know, when do you find time to write? In the early morning or when you're isolated? Because you were just talking about how busy you are.
Yeah. I haven't written anything, and I haven't written anything original in quite a few years. What I do is I get into this frenzy where I can't do anything but obsess until I'm ready to burst. And I wrote Dexter Detective in a month. And
wow.
it was a month. It was literally I would write it in one day, and then now I've been taking notes for over a year. Dexter Detective is a really long story, so half of it was written about 3 years prior. I didn't care for it. There was something missing. And then when I had listened to a podcast about the Dixie Mafia, I thought, oh my God, why has nobody written a story about the Dixie Mafia?
It's funny that you said that, because we talked about that last time you were on the channel.
Yeah.
And,
So
I guess
did it.
It's a what now? Yeah, I'm going to be quiet, because I was going to say I'm coming up with a story about the Dixie, and it's all because of you. So there you go.
Yeah, but so anyway, so I write, like I said, I write it all in just a span of a few months. Dempster Detective as well, and Alpha Dogs. And then what I do is then I rewrite. Sorry, my phone. I had to switch to my phone, and so now my battery's dying, so I got to hurry up and plug it in. But so what I'll do is then I'll spend years rewriting them, and so you're going through it and rewriting, and I rewrite it for years. So that's what I do. I don't really write anything original. I write the scripts, the whole story in a span of months, and then I spend years rewriting it. Maybe that's why my stories are so good. I guess because I just spend so much rewriting them.
The opposite. I like last night. I had somebody said something. Usually, like you mentioned the Dixie Mafia, and I was like, oh, so I look it up. I do some research and think of it.
Yeah.
I daydream about it, and I'm like, oh, that would be a good setting. And then but I don't have a character and I don't have a story. I just have a setting. And I think about that for a while, and then something will happen, like a name. Oh, that's a good name for a character. And once I get a name for a character, everything falls from there. And then and then I'll think about it, literally just think about it, and I'll jot down a note or two, and then I'm like, that's the story. And in a burst of creativity, I'll write the story in a weekend. You know what I mean? But like it's like percolating for a long time. That's not my process. But since this shift, I'm working different. I haven't done anything. I got to get used to it.
Third shift sucks. I hate third shift. I don't envy you for a minute. I hated third shift.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the pro. What do you think of Lockjaw, the Inhumans dog?
I guess I know what it is. I don't read Inhumans, so I don't know anything about it other than it looks cool. I don't really read too many superhero stories anymore.
Yeah, it's a big.
Yeah, I know who he is. He's one of the Inhumans dogs. Yeah. So Crypto's cool. Like I said, I don't really read Marvel or DC anymore. I stopped reading that. I read indies. I just got done reading a great graphic novel called Grommets. It's I just finished that. So it's, if you love you would like it, John. It's about the 80s skateboard scene. It's basically, if you're an 80s kid, if you were a teen, not even a teen, preteen, any age from I don't know, 87, 86 to 88, everybody skateboarded. Yeah. It was like Tony Hawk, Lance Mountain, all these guys in the skate. So that's when the story takes place.
Yeah, one of the guys he built I can't believe the parents did this. They're insane. But they built a half pipe in their backyard.
Yes. There was that kid. Everybody had that kid.
Guys on skateboards, breaking their legs. How this family didn't get sued? But back then, I guess
it's the same thing. It's funny because everybody in the small town had that one person that had the half pipe. They were like the coolest people. It's funny.
Yeah, everybody's there drinking beer, with 16, 17 years old. Skateboard not me though. I'm too uncoordinated. But I just cheered them on and watched, but I couldn't skateboard. But
so I just finished that. That was great. And then I did I'm sorry, what?
I said it's called Grommets. I got to look it up. How would you get it?
When did it's old? It was come out a while ago. I got it off the library.
Okay. Oh, so it's an old mainstream book that I could look up. Okay. I thought it was like now that I could get on Kickstarter or something.
No. I don't, like I said, most of what I read is Image, or it doesn't have to be Image, but Image is kind of what I read, or the indie scene. That's what I read.
Me too. I gave up Marvel and DC in 2015, and it's kind of embarrassing because I just got invited on a channel, and they spent the whole hour talking about Absolute Batman and the new Spider-Man, and I was I'm the wrong guy.
I just tried Absolute Batman. I just tried it because I heard it's so good, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna try it because I've heard nothing but good things about Scott Snyder, and it literally was the first superhero book I've read in a long time, and I couldn't make it past the first issue. I'm like, this is Batman. It's like a fresh paint. It's like fresh paint on an old car. It didn't do it for me, but
Yeah,
That's me. Everybody's got what they like.
yeah. Everyone's like, why don't you want Absolute Batman? I'm like, because I want regular Batman to be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can only keep telling the same origin story over and over again. It's like Wolverine. They just did Wolverine and Ultimate Wolverine, and it's the same thing. He's in a woods and he's getting away from the superhero. He's going to live and he's part of nature. And then an old villain comes back and he's still not going to come back. Then it hurts one of his friends. So it's the same story. You've seen it 100 times. I don't understand why people like it, but that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I still like my Fantastic Four, and I still love all of these characters, but the fire went out, and I've moved on. Even if Marvel and DC course corrected, I think I'm done. I think I'm stubborn that way. Hey, Matt Powers here. How you doing, Matt? Matt.
Hey, how's it going, Matt? Yeah, I
was just saying thanks, Matt. This is my comic, and anybody who worked on my comic, I mailed this to their house, and everybody signed it. And Matt put in some original artwork in the box. So I just wanted to say
nice.
It made my day to open up. I was having a hard day. I'm having a hard time adjusting to this shift.
Oh, I don't believe it. Just everything.
Original artwork in there by Matt and Oscar. Thank you. Just saying thanks. Thanks, Matt.
Sweet.
The reason, yes, Tim Olson says that's the reason why manga is doing well, because of the variety of storytelling.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they need to get. If it was me and I'm not Marvel, I would just pay the big money to have somebody name, like back when Josh Whedon did his run and Grant Morrison. It brought people in. Those were good. A fresh take, and I think that's what it would take, is just to pay the money for a big person to do a run. And in my opinion, but like I said, I don't really read superhero stories anymore, so I couldn't tell you.
I mean, I write superhero stories. Like my comic is a superhero, but I get what you like. Oh, Spider-Man. Okay, so you're gonna fight Mysterio again. It's 70 years battling Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they do like something completely different, and then half the fan base reacts poorly to it, the other half fan base loves it, but then they go back to status quo. And as much as I like it, I'm tired of it, and I do. That's why I like Crime Store Detective, because I don't know what's going on. For all I know, everybody's going to be dead by the last issue. For all I know, you know what I mean. Space aliens are going to come because it's yours. You can do whatever you want, and you got an ending in mind, and that's exciting. Like I know Spider-Man's never going to end.
Yeah. Well, comics are a perpetual second act. That's just what they are. But all my comics end.
I never thought of it that way. They're a perpetual second act. That's DC should bring back Weird Tales. Yeah, I'm a big fan of
that would be cool.
I'm reading Creepy and Eerie for the first time. Those old Warren magazines. There's 3 horror stories in each, and each is like 10 to 12 pages, and it's full of characterization, a beginning, a middle, and a definitive ending. I just like that. I mean, I do like Reed Richards defeating Galactus for the 20th time too, but I don't know. I like I said, Marvel kind of soured me. Marvel could bring back.
I would recommend
Heroic Tales 3 is going to be partially a romance comic. I'm bringing back romance.
There you go. I just finished Mr. Worthless by Eric Powell. You know who that is, by any chance?
Oh, Eric Powell does The Goon, one of my favorite comics.
Yes.
Worth. It's out already?
Yes, it's fantastic.
Yeah, for those who don't know what John's talking about, Eric Powell, creator of The Goon, he also does a comic called Hillbilly. I freaking love these comics. I love these. I'm trying to get Eric Powell to come on my channel. He just doesn't respond. I think he's one of the best comic creators right now. I love his art. This guy could go from totally goofy, like you're laughing at how silly it is, to breaking your heart within a 22-page comic. He is that talented. But he took like a year off, and about 2 years ago, and he did a comic called Liquid Ed Gone Done, and it was a story, it was a graphic novel of Ed Gein, the inspiration for Psycho, inspiration for the text, and it did the impossible. It actually made you feel a little sorry for Ed Gein. You realized what a horrible life. Like, he's that good of a storyteller. Now he's doing a book about Frederick Wortham, and it's a play on called Worthless. I didn't know it's out yet. I got to go get this. It was good.
Yeah, it's one of the few historical. It's a biography basically, but it's also a history. A documentary, it's very unique, and it's really it's great. I highly recommend it.
I gotta get. I didn't know it was out yet. I thought he was still working on it.
Recently. So those are the two. So that's kind of the material I read. I just look for something that looks really original, that I haven't read before, and that seems to be Image seems to be the forerunners of that at this time.
Dark Horse, Fantagraphics,
Monster. I've been waiting to get my hands. I'm so mad because I passed up on issue 1, and now it costs so much money. So I'm gonna probably wait for the graphic novel. Have you read Monster yet?
Which one's Monster?
Oh my god, now blank. It's just the most gorgeous, like old Universal Studios.
Okay. Yeah, they're doing a one on Frankenstein, one on the
yeah, I haven't read them yet, but
I've been picking them up. They're like modern tellings of the Universal monsters. Is that what you're talking about?
I believe so. Yes, yeah.
They're really good. I just finished reading the creature, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Mummy, and I really liked them. And it's weird because the monsters themselves are almost side characters. It's so far both stories have been the people seeking these creatures. And
really?
Yes, I really like them. I have the Frankenstein. I didn't read it yet, and I think Dracula is still coming out. But yeah, I so far I like them. 4-issue stories, complete stories. I don't want to give you the twist, but the creature one had an interesting twist.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I'm be looking for that. And I think he started on Kickstarter too, if I remember right, or something. He was, and now it's like the best. It's on like the top 10. I believe it was on the top 10 or top 25 best-selling comics since the first one that was an Image, Marvel, DC, or Boom in a while. So that was a keen spot. I think are the publishers. Mostly web comics, I guess.
Yeah, I still like, this is what I was reading today is Geiger,
Geiger's good. Yep.
Yeah, I'm an unashamed, unabashed Jeff Johns fanboy. I really liked what he did for DC, for the Justice Society, and I followed him now to Image. I mean, Gary Frank's artwork is outstanding, and I'm trying to get. I'm way behind on the other ones. Geiger, I'm all caught up with, but the other ones. So there are good comics, and like you, I think I'm leaning more towards like creator owned. Jeff Johns owns Geiger, so he's going to do what he wants. So if he does something bad, it's on
pretty
him.
cool.
So I think I'm done with corporate IPs, and let me ask you this. If you could, let's just say the comic book fairy showed up and said, I'm going to give you total control of one corporate IP. Is there any character that you would like to write?
Well, X-Men is the one I would write, but if it's one character, I guess I'd have to say Wolverine. But one of my goals in my comic book career is to write an X-Men story. I don't have one, but that's what got me into comics was the X-Men.
That was your comic as a kid. That's what got you in.
Yeah.
Everybody likes the X-Men. The X-Men at one point were so good. I don't know. Are they good now? I haven't been reading the X-Men since 2000.
Oh, I've read almost all of Chris Claremont's run from the early 80s when he took it over until, oh my goodness, up until Onslaught, basically almost. So I read almost his entire run, and then just about to Onslaught. I think, X-Men 5 is when I stopped in the 90s.
He said he would write the X-Men He would write GI Joe. I'm reading GI Joe for the first time. This is issue 3. It shows you. I always avoided GI Joe as a kid because I wanted superhero comics. I didn't want military comics. And I'd say GI Joe. I'm really enjoying.
Really?
I didn't think I would like it.
I read a few. I probably should have kept on. I read a few. I thought they were a little campy for me, but maybe because I read them as an adult. I don't know. They were a little campy.
And you know what? That's kind of the charm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm tired of. Again, I was just on another stream and we were talking about like evil Superman tropes. I'm so tired of this. You know, the boys and all the superheroes are disgusting, and we're gonna. I'm kind of enjoying the campy. It's obviously based on the toys of GI Joe, and here's surprisingly something else that I'm reading for the first time is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, really? Huh?
Never read them before.
No, I've never had the pleasure.
They're really good. My wife and I went to go see the movie a couple of weeks. The first movie. Oh man, it was a blast. You know, this is the kind of stuff.
Very first movie, like the one in 89.
Yeah, 1990 Turtles. They released.
Oh God, you've never seen that? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's an incredible movie.
Yeah, it was so. We had such a good time, and of course, afterwards, my wife and I had to go get pizza. We had a great night.
I'll never forget watching it for the first time. It was so big when it came out because it came out of nowhere. It was
but I was irrationally. I was like, they're making fun of comics. This is a cash grab. You know, this is like I was just like, no, these people like they're just ripping off comics. It's just a cash grab. I was like, I'm not getting it. And the more popular it got, the more I retreated. You know, people like you do a YouTube channel and you never read a Ninja Turtles comic, so I kind of got shamed reading it. These are pretty good. They're good.
Yeah, I've read a few of the early ones and they were good. It was not what you expect because if you were raised on the cartoon, it's very much different than comics.
So we'll bring up, you know, again, every time I talk to you, the hour goes by so fast. So let's see now. What do you got? Is this single issues or is this collected?
It's the collected. So all of them are the collected edition for this. It's over 130 pages long. And with Kickstarter, the funds don't come out until after the campaign ends, which I believe is like September 9th. But like I said, the comic's already printed. It's in the warehouse. So once once this campaign ends, I'm going to be picking them up and mailing them. So you won't have this long wait. It's a great series. Like I said, it got picked up by a publisher. This was the first comic that Source Point Press printed right before the relaunch. So they believed in it. I'm an unknown for them to like the series enough to have me, be the person that started the relaunch, of the new writers. I think that speaks for itself that it is a really good quality series.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, I haven't read Alpha Dogs yet, but I have read Dime Store Detective, and I'm hooked. I think it's the best written indie comic that I've read yet. It's so good. And guys, don't get mad. I'm not. You know what I mean? Everybody can be good, but this, I think this, to say this to me, being a comic book guy, like Dime Store Detective should be like a TV series. You know what I mean?
It should. And I'm not gonna. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's my goal. It's as good as anything you've seen out there, in my opinion. And so the only thing that's stopping it from becoming a series is just me getting the right person to believe in it. Because if you like issues 1 through 5 of Dime Store Detective sets up issues 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if you like those issues, it's gonna kind of blow you away what happens. No one's gonna. It's going to be a big shocker.
For some reason, I thought the next issue was the last issue. So
no. I've still got 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there's 4 more issues left.
Okay. And Brian Christopher, he writes a comic called Six Gun Gorilla that is awesome.
I've heard of it. I heard it was really good. I've never read it. The art,
I recommend it. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's a gorilla that's captive in the Old West, and they teach it to shoot. And hijinks. it's so
So
good.
that's the original concept. See, that's cool. That's an original take on something. So that's what I like. So yeah, I'll have to check it out.
And
Maybe
he carries these like
so
bigger than 50 caliber. It's almost like
yeah,
60
I
caliber
read the
drill.
art. It's
Yeah,
pretty
he's got the
cool.
he's just good.
Yeah, I did like the art a lot.
Yeah, it's good. I'm sorry, you broke up. What did you say?
I said it gets your attention.
Yeah. So Omnipro says, can the alpha dog speak?
To each other, so they communicate with each other. They have a heightened intelligence, so they can understand humans, but the humans can't understand them, because that would, writing these talking dogs in the story, it is a fine line between camp hokey and a suspension of disbelief. And with alpha dogs, you have the suspension of disbelief. You this is doesn't come off as camp or hokey. It's very much in reality that you could see happening, and the themes of the story carry on. It's very adult, but it's got a lot of adventure, but it's very adult. It's about prejudice about a dog because of his breed and size, and I think it carries over to themes of abandonment with the Buck's owner abandoning him for her new boyfriend, and how parents they get the stepdad and the kids are pushed to the side. So it's kind of a cautionary tale with alpha dogs too.
Sorry, just somebody messaged me. I had to respond.
Oh.
So yeah, I backed Alpha Dogs 1 to 5. I backed Dime Store Detective 1 to 5. I think I in the Alpha Dogs I also got Space Cruising. So I think I got the complete Jon Dexter library. Is there anything that I'm missing?
Really appreciate it. Well, a comic you'll never probably find. No, my very first comic, which was done 10 years prior, called Space Steelhawk, that I was so disgusted with, I dumped the box in the trash. All the comics, I was so frustrated. It was called, you'll never find it. It's called Steelhawk. There's about 4 copies in existence. So once this becomes huge, the 4 people that probably own my comic, 5 or I don't know, that's probably like 8. They're probably worth a lot of money. But yeah, I was gonna give up, and so I took the box and dumped it because I was so disgusted with my first comic.
Like printing errors, or you just didn't like your writing, or the art was bad? What went wrong?
It's a combination. I didn't know what I was doing. The artist was horrible. My writing was not the best, and it didn't sell. I couldn't give them away. So I just said I can't. I gave up. I just decided I'm never going to do this again. In a big fury, I took the box and I dumped it in a dumpster. And my cousin saved some of the issues. So and a few people did sell, but I think I sold like 5 issues. So don't ever give up, because I'd never be doing this if I just gave up.
Well, there you go. Don't give up, everybody.
So yeah, it was a superhero story. It was kind of like the Prince and the Pauper superhero story, which so yeah, it was my first comic was actually a superhero story.
So you said you're not into superhero stories, so I guess right.
That was back when I was into them. I was really into them back in that time. I love the Ultimate One and stuff. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to close that. Guys, I'm a big fan of your writing, so I'm looking forward to this. And like you said, these are already made, so what you get the money like a month after the campaign closes, and I guess that's you'll just start shipping everything out when you get that with Kickstarter. Did I lose you? Looks like you froze. Oh, it looks like maybe I lost John, but that's the way Kickstarter works. So he's already got these comics in the warehouse. You back, you get 6 weeks, then the money gets cleared, and then Kickstarter does whatever, and then they send you the money, and then he'll mail out the comics. So there you go. It's gonna be pretty quick. And on that note, I'll tell you, Heroic Tales 2, the letterer is having a little bit of family issues, so I was hoping to ship by the end of September. It looks like I'm going to be shipping in the middle of October. I apologize for the delays, but I gotta finish the I got to get the color, and I don't want to switch colorists. You know, I'm too much of an anal retentive. So he's got like 7 or 8 more pages, but I needed them this week to get them printed and shipped by September. So it looks like the middle of October is when my comic Heroic Tales 2 will be shipping. I apologize. I was trying to get it done in September, but like I said, he's got there's just health issues in his family, and what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Family comes first. So then, anyway, I'm going to shut down. We lost John. He was having some difficulties, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll do Sunday Comics, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to continue doing the X-Men. And then next week, since I'm on this new schedule, I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing. For those of you who are seeing me for the first time or haven't seen me in a while, I didn't really do any streams this week because I'm a construction worker. I got sent to a new job. We're redoing public schools, so we have to work after school. You know, the teachers are there now, so we're going to work at 3:30 to 10. So I'm not getting home until like 11:30 with traffic and everything like that. So I kind of canceled all my conversations. I still want to do It's Clobbering Time on Fridays, but it'll probably be closer to 11:30. And I'll probably do live streams in the morning, like around 1, well, in the afternoon, around 1 in the afternoon, and then, and then leave for work every day. So I don't know what I'll talk about. I probably won't have guests, but if you would like to be a guest, that's my preferred thing. I like talking to people, and you are available around 1 a.m. in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Message me. We'll come on. We'll talk about comic books. All right. So there you go. Thanks a lot. And I don't know how long I'm going to be on this schedule. It's more money, but man, I just feel isolated. You know what I mean? My wife is at work. By the time I wake up, she wakes up every morning, makes me lunch. So I see her in the morning. I go to work. You know what I mean? I'm babbling. Now I sleep. Now she's gone. That's the way it used to be. I would see her in the morning, and then I would come home 2 hours later. She would be home. Now I wake up. She's already at work. And now when I come home, we have 20 minutes before she goes to sleep. So it's just weird. It's just weird. It's isolating. But I'm babbling. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.